But we are live.
Live. It is time.
It is time.
Morning. Morning, Alan.
Morning, Lisa.
Good training last night.
Well, thank you my goal for that, and I hope it hit the mark, was just if I could just inspire and encourage one person to have more confidence in what they're doing, to feel so much better about, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I think even just like we talked about on the live yesterday, but the percentages, laying that out so people could see that.
Yeah.
Just knowing that I think builds confidence.
Yeah, makes a huge difference. Huge difference. Hey, Anna, Lori, Andrew, Sven.
Hey, guys. And you and I both have our real estate license. So that really hit home. You know, my daughter's blowing it up in real estate right now, but not everybody does. So.
Well, in real estate, you're talking about a roller coaster ride. I mean,
yeah, totally.
It has nothing to do with, has a lot to do with the person, but most people think real estate business is easy when it's really not.
No, let me just, for the record, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Agents, and we know by the time you pay, you don't make all the money you think you do.
No.
You get the check, but you've spent how much? Marketing, advertising, flyers, driving around in your car, wearing gas.
And it's stressful. You think you're on your phone a lot now. You're constantly cannot be away, and people are upset if you can't be there on a Sunday to show them a property and you have a family plan. So it's, I mean, for those that are watching that are real estate agents and successful, we're not saying this to offend, but this is the reality, having walked in those shoes. For me, it was just, yeah.
It's hard work. It's a job. It's stressful. You're at their beck and call. They treat you like, they treat you worse than an employee. So
they do. Hold on. The dog's chewing up something.
Yeah. So the dog's chewing up something. So today we're going to talk about positivity and how positivity can make a huge difference in your business, in your personal life and in your business. You know, I mean, number one, it makes positivity, attitude and positivity has a lot to do with your health.
For sure. I mean,
stress will kill you, you know? And so exercising is a way to create positivity because you feel better about yourself. Small accomplishments for you and for your business and for the people you're talking to. I remember when I was in the restaurant business, there was a gentleman who ran an office supply company, Hinkle Office Supply Company. And I knew the Hinkles, and the dad started it. The son was working with him, and then the grandson was playing hockey for one of my hockey teams I was coaching. Outstanding player. The dad was a nice guy, but the grandfather who started the business was so positive, encouraging, enthusiastic. Every time you talked to him, he complimented you. I mean, he was one of the nicest guys you ever want to meet. And I did business with him because I could not do business with him. You know,
yep.
Other people would offer me, a 3% savings, over what he was doing. But I knew without a shadow of a doubt that he was going to be positive. He was going to take responsibility for anything that went wrong. He was going to guarantee his products. He always had a smile on his face, and you just couldn't tell him no.
Yeah.
Because he was so positive. He was very honest. He would say, "Hey, I don't have that," or I don't carry it, but I know where you can get it. But his attitude was so positive that, and so how do you do that? Well, number one, you get up every day and you start with a positive attitude. It's a proven fact. It's a proven fact that people are about as happy as they choose to be. Yeah. It carries me to a story of this couple, and they were moving to a new town, and they were looking at a couple of new towns. They were looking to go to town, and they go and they meet some people, and they go, so how are the people around here? Are they nice? Are they kind? Are they generous? Is this a great place to live? And the guy said, let me ask you a question. How were the people where you lived before? Oh, they were just mean and horrible and just hateful neighbors. And he said, well, they're going to be about the same around here. And then another couple came in and said to the same guy, hey, we're looking at moving this town. How are the people here? How are your neighbors? How do you like living here? How is the local businesses? He said, let me ask you something. How were they where you used to live? Oh, we just loved them. They were amazing. We had the greatest neighbors. We had great people that did business for us. And we just hate to leave, but my husband got transferred and we don't have a choice, but we just loved it. And the same guy in the same town said, they're going to be about the same around here. Yeah. Because people react to you and your positivity. People, if your neighbors are awesome and nice and kind, chances are they're going to be awesome, nice and kind. I've met neighbors here where I moved in. On one side of me, I have a police officer, and on the other side of me, I have a game warden.
Thank goodness.
Yeah. I'm like, hey, if I'm on the water, I got one. And if I'm on the streets, I got one.
Right.
I'm covered on both sides. And they're younger, of course, than me, but they got little kids, like little from probably 3 to 6 or 7. And they're just nice people. They're just wonderful. Now, it's funny because, when we're moving back and forth, Amanda said, I've seen that guy next door and he hasn't said a word to me. And I looked over there and he hadn't spoken. And I said, you say anything to him? No, I was busy packing. I said, oh, okay. So we get out of the car and I'm like, hey, neighbor, how are you? He goes, hey, great to see you. I said, man, it's awesome to see a police officer live next door to me. That makes me feel so good, man. I really love you guys and appreciate your service. He goes, well, thank you. That means a lot. And he came over and shook my hand, introduced himself. And now I get out of the car and he's like, hey, Alan, how's it going?
I know. You're right.
And it makes a difference. Now, it doesn't count California. It's a little weird out there.
Thank you. I was just sitting here thinking, and when you started the story and you said, I've got this story about this couple. They were moving. I thought you were going to say they were moving to Gainesville, Georgia.
Well, something. I mean, the reality of it is you react to the people around you there in California because of the way they react to you, because of their negative.
Yeah.
They're negative.
Yeah. I'll tell you,
go ahead.
Moving here innocently from Wisconsin, the Midwest people are like the Southern people. You're, for the most part, nice to everybody. It's just how it is.
Yeah.
And I came here blindly. So kind of like the time you were out here visiting and you're talking to the woman at the grocery store and she's looking at you like, all right, well, people just aren't that friendly. I just was myself, and some people would warm up to me and then others wouldn't. So you do kind of, for me, what I started to do, you guys, this isn't that it's the right thing. You almost just start to protect yourself. So you just accept that's how it is. I mean, I still try to kill them with kindness, but it's a different vibe out here.
Well, and here's the deal too, is you want to compliment people. If you haven't read the book, How to Win Friends and Influence People, it's all about having a positive attitude towards people. And see, when you see someone, look at them, look at what they're wearing, look at what they're dressing, look at what they're driving, and focus on them and what you can compliment them on, Like I can say, hey, Lisa, nice shirt. That Carolina blue, I love that. That's a beautiful shirt. That color looks great on you. That's going to see, everybody in the world, every single person is walking around with this invisible sign hanging around their neck that says, make me feel important. And so when you compliment people, they feel good about it. And I'm not talking about bogus BS, but you can always find something positive to compliment people on. And people only follow a positive leader. If you're a complainer, if you're negative, if you're fussing about, complaining about this, complaining about that, well, they don't ship to this country, or they're not going to follow you.
Yeah, for sure. And And people, the best way to let have someone let their guard down and to trust you is that whole positive thing. Especially, I don't know how this goes for guys, but with women, there's just constant competition on, checking out how someone looks. It's wrong, but it's the truth. And you walk up to a woman and compliment her as another woman, especially on, wow, I love that dress. Where did you get it? Oh my gosh, those are great shoes. You've just made a connection.
That's right.
And but you do it sincerely, not in a fakeness. I mean, if you're sincere, people know. They spot it. They can tell a mile away.
That's right. That's right. When we were in Tennessee, there was a guy driving a Chevelle that was sweet. I mean, it was all original. He had painted the outside, and I'm like, and he came out, and I'm like, whoa, you're not getting away without me talking to you about your car. And he goes, you like this car? And I said, man, I'm born in '60. These things are sweet. I love that. And he goes, yeah, it's always, and he just bragged about the car, told me about the business where he worked, gave me one of his business cards, gave me a magazine. He said, my car is featured in this magazine. Here, I want you to have this. This is awesome. If you're in town again, come by. I'll show you my collection. He just really just thought it was amazing. And you really want to be positive and be present with people. Be present with people. There's a huge thing that says, listen to understand, don't listen to respond.
I love that.
Because when you're working with people, if you're prospecting someone, listen to them. And if you're not good at it, I can tell you that I used to be horrible at this. And sometimes I got to be careful now, because when you've done this as long as we have, when somebody starts talking, I already know what they're going to say. I know what's coming out of their mouth. I know when they're trying to recreate the wheel. I know when they're trying to go off and not follow the system. I know when they're about ready to make a mistake. But if they're talking and I go, let me stop you right there. Now, they're like, whoa, but listen. And what I used to do is I'd say, okay, now I'm going to wait 10 seconds after they're done talking before I respond. And I would consciously think about that. And so I'm listening intently. Yeah. Yeah. I understand that. And I really understand what would make you think you want to go in that direction. But let me tell you, I've tried that in the past and I've had people do that. But you really, in order to grow a big team, you've got to really keep it really simple and duplicatable. And see, now I'm explaining to them what they should do and not what they should not do. So you want to be positive in that respect.
That's a great point. And that is, I struggle with that as well. I have to really check myself when I'm listening to someone because,
when you listen, we talked about it on the training and on the Live at 11 yesterday. I want to know what they're excited about. What did you like best about the video? What are you interested in? What are your concerns? They may not give two hoots about a contest. They may not care. I think you said yesterday, they may not be into a car,
or traveling.
Or traveling. Yeah.
Right.
You get to win this trip. They're like, listen, there's a guy who he does not active anymore, but he was from Canada and we were taking the trip. He called me, he sent me a message and said, hey, I need to talk to you about something. And I said, okay, what is it? And he goes, listen, this is going to sound weird. He said, and he's from a small town in Canada. He said, I've never been out of the town I live in. He said, I'm 44 years old and I've got this phobia about flying and traveling. And I would love to come to the Riviera with you guys. But when you see that I'm not registered and you see that I'm not coming, don't think it's because I don't want to come. I just literally, that's something that I've never been able to overcome, And so, tug of war going on there?
Yes, he's out of control this morning and he's destroying things.
I have heard, I've got a friend of mine who sells pet CBD oil. I've heard it really works great.
You know what? It works fantastic. We usually don't go through this in the morning. I'm not sure what's going on with him today. So there's also his little crate that works great too, but he usually just lays here by my feet. So sorry, everybody.
All right. No, you're packing up, getting ready to move. So he's kind of, animals sense that something's going on.
They totally do. And see, the CBD's right up there. So it's just, I gotta, Anyway, sorry about that. Yeah, no, I used to be scared to death to fly. And it changed about 15 years ago. So I'm relating to that guy right now. There was one time we earned a trip with my last company to Hawaii, and I didn't go. Like, that never would have intrigued me, that we earned free trips then. It's different now, but I would have been like, I don't care about the trip. So I get it.
Yeah. Yeah. And you want to use, and the last thing I want to say is this, is that's okay.
Yep.
That's okay. You got to tell yourself that, and you need to be positive and tell other people that. You know, golly, I got up this morning and I went to go get a haircut and a beard trim, and I walked into the barbershop. Now, moving down here, I went to a new barbershop that's local, and I think they probably would have trimmed my beard at Taz, where I usually go. But I was on time crunch, and I'm like, okay, I need to go. So I go somewhere closer because it's a hike up there. And I go in, and he says, yeah, you know, with the whatever we're in, I can give you a haircut, but I can't shave you or trim your beard. Now, he put lotion on my back, shaving cream back there, and shaved the back of my neck. Please explain to me the difference in the two. I don't know. And I could have got upset.
Mm-hmm.
I said, that's okay. No worries. You know, I'm not, that's no big deal. That's okay. You know, and he's like, yeah, I appreciate that. You know, and I still tipped him well. I got there, and this barbershop, the reason I went there, it's new. It's got a 5-star rating. Really nice guy. And I still tipped him well. I tip well because I know how it is in the service industry.
Yeah.
But even though he couldn't shave me, that's okay. Even though he couldn't trim my beard, that's okay. Even though I missed my flight to, Georgia, that's okay. There's another one coming.
Yeah.
And there's probably a reason that, that God or the power that be decided you don't need to be on that flight.
Yep.
And so practice saying to yourself, living in the moment, being positive, and when things don't go your way, that's okay.
It's okay.
Yeah. When life gives you lemons, you can either make lemonade or you can get some tequila and salt. Either way, it's okay.
And being that we're talking about positivity, and I know we've spoke about this before in our lives, but surround yourself with positive people. Like if you find a group that you're in or friends that you're hanging out with that just you leave there and you don't feel good, you don't have to be nasty about it. Just make some different choices. It's dramatically changed my life when I did AHA. Lisa, it's okay to say no to somebody, and you don't have to be everybody's best friend, but do it kindly and just kind of make your changes, because being around people, whether it's the relationship that you're in, not all relationships are perfect. We know that. But if you're constantly feeling down and it's not a positive environment, it's going to hold you back forever.
So true. So true. So be positive. It's okay to say no. It reminded me that, I was just having a talk with somebody the other day, and they're one of the people that are like you and I are, and we're givers, and we want to help everybody. And I said, givers have to set boundaries because takers never do. Givers have to set boundaries because takers never do. Do it in a positive way, do it in a loving way, but it's okay. And when I'm reading that and getting ready, I'm like, it's okay. And just understand that, hey, life is a roller coaster ride. Sometimes there's going to be hills. Sometimes you're going down. Sometimes you're in a curve. Sometimes you're screaming with delight. Sometimes you're going, what the heck?
Yeah,
exactly. It's all said and done. You want to come sliding into the finish line and going, woo, that was awesome. Let's do it again.
Right.
So, positive. You got a dog put on you. You can be upset about it. It's okay. It's a dog.
Okay. You know what, you guys, if you can't all get a laugh out of this, this is what we call doing lives.
That's right. Well, I'll tell you what's good if you want them to have a laugh and laugh every day.
Yeah.
Laugh every day. Laugh at yourself. Most of the things that people get upset about are not going to matter 5 years from now.
No, sometimes 5 minutes from now, right?
Yep. And so when I talk to someone, stay focused, be present. And when you hang up the phone, I want you to ask yourself this question. Did I leave them encouraged and inspired?
Okay. I got to add one more thing, just so you guys can appreciate this whole thing came together. My dog did this on purpose. So this time that I've been getting up here, this office is almost all packed. I have a couple things left out I might need. And you're all going to laugh and say, who even uses a checkbook anymore? Once in a while, you need a checkbook. Once in a while. He's been destroying the checkbooks. And I could be all upset about that. But you know what? What's the deal? I need new addresses on my checks anyway in a few weeks. And like, whatever.
He's just encouraging you to move faster.
He just was like, who needs these checks anymore?
All right, gang, we got to go. Love you. Appreciate you.
Hey, guys. Yep.
Stay positive and remember, it's okay.
You know what? I'm going to challenge all of you guys. Throw a positive comment or thought on the team page today. Those that watch the live will totally get it. Just for fun, throw something out there so we can engage with that. That would be fun.
I love it.
All right, guys.
All right. Thanks. Talk to you later.